Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Stylist Studio Dolls. It is day 7 of AG Fashion Week 2025, and I can't believe it's already day 7. This week has gone by in an absolute blur. I have been so busy making outfits, making videos, as well as spending time with my family. We've had a very busy week, and this has been so much fun, but I must say I am completely exhausted. Nevertheless, I'm so excited to show you what I have for you for my finale. I actually had 2 different ideas when I was planning for Fashion Week. So I knew I wanted to make a bunch of new clothes for my dolls for spring. So doing Dress My Dolls videos just sort of made sense. But I also had this idea of taking designer dresses and sort of miniaturizing them and making them for my dolls. So that is what I'm doing in this video. This video is called A Designer Tribute by Stylist Studio Dolls. And I was actually inspired by 6 different designers. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about those designers and show you a few of their designs. And then I'm going to show you 3 of the 6 outfits that I have made that were inspired by these designers. I will be putting out another video with the other 3 designs in about a week. Just for a little added fun, I'm making these videos into sort of a little matching game for you. Thought it would be fun to just get you involved a little bit. These are the 6 designers: Dior, Oscar de la Renta, Carolina Herrera, Valentino Garavani, Prabal Gurung, and Bronx and Banco. So just a little note about the designs I'm going to show you. These are not designer runway looks. These are their ready-to-wear looks that you can buy at high-end retail stores. Please don't get the wrong idea. I do not have a closet full of clothes like these. I have a very basic utilitarian wardrobe, but I just love to look at this stuff. I think it's so much fun. First up is Dior. Here are 3 dresses. And what can I say? Dior is just elegance, it's sophistication, it's attention to tailoring and details, and it's immaculate construction. And it's never vulgar or crass or too crazy. It's just classic, and you can't go wrong with Dior. Here are 3 dresses by Oscar de la Renta, and a lot of beautiful florals. I'm loving so many of the dresses that I'm seeing by this designer this year, and just beautiful and always so feminine. Oscar de la Renta, and always often with a Latin flair as well. Next up is Carolina Herrera, and oh my goodness, I think these are so much fun. I am immediately drawn to just the whimsy of these dresses, and she does do other things as well, but these are the ones that caught my eye. The bows and the oversized flowers, and I just think these are so much fun. Next up, we have Valentino Garavani, and this is an Italian designer, and I really love his aesthetic. Always unique. I love garments like these that have, to me, a very vintage feel, and I was really inspired by that type of feel that he was bringing this year. The next designer is Prabal Gurung, and you can find so many different styles when you look up this designer. He's kind of all over the place, but in a good way. He brings a unique perspective to the industry, and it's very sort of modern luxury. I was very inspired by his embroidered pieces, like this dress in the middle. And the final designer is Bronx and Banco. Great designer. I love these beautiful feminine, girly dresses, and there are so many more by this designer too. These are just the 3 that I picked, but they are just so beautiful. Can't you just see any of these dresses on an American Girl doll? They would just be so lovely. All right, so these are the 6 designers along with a few of their designs. The actual garments that inspired my garments are not in these photos because they're sort of little knockoffs. I hate to use the term, but they are, so it would be too obvious if I showed you the actual garments. So here we go. Look number 1 is worn by Claudie, and she's wearing an off-white strapless dress with a black ribbon belt and black American Girl Mary Jane's. This dress has a pleated skirt and a lace detail around the hem. So now you decide by looking at this dress, which designer do you think inspired this look? I will give you a few seconds to decide. If you chose Dior, you were right. The look that inspired this dress is on the right in this picture. As you can see, the fabrics are a little different. They used an off-white fabric with a tan floral, whereas mine is an off-white fabric with a white floral. I think the effect is very similar. Mine is just cotton, and I'm sure theirs is more luxurious, but I think the look works. I love the top of this dress. I think it's so elegant. I love the belt. I love the lace along the hem, and I think I nailed this one. Here's look number 2, and this is a Nikki Hoffman doll. She's AJ in my collection, and she's wearing a little red dress with a poof detail around the skirt and silver sparkly flats. Once again, here are your choices. Which designer do you think inspired me to make that dress? If you chose Carolina Herrera, you're correct. Here is the look that inspired this dress on the right. And obviously my dress is a little darker red, and her dress has bows around the bottom, and I love that. They're these huge oversized bows, and I really wanted to do that, but with my fabric it was just going to be way too big and bulky on such a small scale to do the big bows. So I ended up just doing these little puffs instead, and I used a crepe back satin, and I used the matte side for the main dress and for the bottom layer of puffs. And then the top layer, I used the shiny side of the fabric just to give it a little bit of contrast. I do really like how this came out, but I do wish it had the bow detail. Look number 3 is worn by Isabel Hoffman, and in my collection her name is Anya, and she's wearing a little black dress with a square neckline and box pleats on the skirt. It has a eyelet trimmed petticoat underneath, and she's wearing it with black patent leather flats. Once again, here are your options. Which designer do you think inspired this look? If you answered Bronx and Banco, you're correct. The dress that inspired this design is on the right. And I just love so much about this dress. I think it's fun. I think it's flirty. I love the pleated skirt. I did make my skirt just a little longer, and I made less of the petticoat sticking out. I just wasn't sure about proportions on the doll as far as how all that would translate. Now, I sort of wish the petticoat was a little fuller, but I could always add to it. So here are the girls all together. And part of what made it easy for me to choose which 3 to put in this video is that I knew these 3 dresses and these 3 dolls were going to look fantastic together. So I am really happy overall with how these came out. I would love to know which one is your favorite, so please let me know in the comments. If you're looking for more great content, of course I hope you'll check out more of my videos, but also check out these channels for more Fashion Week content. And I would like to send out one more special thanks to Christy at AG Takes Over for coming up with the idea for Fashion Week. Don't forget, I will be posting a part 2 of this video. Expect that to come out probably in about a week. I would like to put it out sooner, but I have to get some sleep. I have to recover a little bit from this week. And I also want to spend a couple days responding to comments. I have gotten so many lovely comments and I just haven't had time to sit down and respond to them. So I want to do that. I also want to comment on all the videos of everyone else's that I've been watching and just haven't had time to sit down and leave a good comment. So I'm excited to catch up on all of that and touch base with all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had as much fun this week as I did. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you will like and subscribe. Come back soon. I have a lot more fun content coming your way. And as always, I hope your dolls are making you smile each and every day. Until next time, friends, take care.